Hi guys, it's Marianne the Frugal Chef. Hey, why don't we cook some flank steak today? We're gonna pan sear it. I am gonna be using my cast iron pan for this. I'm gonna start it on the stove and then finish it in the oven. If you don't have one, I do have very specific instructions on the website on how to cook this just on the stovetop. Or if you wanna grill it, oh yes. Let's make this, guys. So I have some flank steak here on my board. Down here, the butchers, they kind of score it, you know, for the grill. I didn't realize it was scored until it was too late. So don't worry about that. It does not need to be scored. What it does need to be, though, is nice and dry so that it'll sear nicely. So we're going to pat dry it with some paper towel. Anytime you are searing anything, beef, seafood, you know, like scallops, for example, you need to make sure that it's nice and dry. Otherwise, it's going to steam. You don't want to steam. You want to brown. My cast iron pan has been heating for a while now. I want it to get really, really hot. And then we're going to add some oil to it and fry this. I'm going to season this meat with some salt and pepper. Be as generous or not generous as you want. This is all to taste. I will season the other side once it's in the pan. One thing that I would recommend that you get yourself, if you don't have one, is a pair of tongs. Like this, you know, so that you can flip your meat. Try not to use a fork because you're going to pierce it and all those juices are going to come out. My pan is really hot. I'm just going to add some oil to it. Use some canola oil for this. So we're going to place our meat in the pan. When you first put your meat on it, it's going to stick. Don't worry about it. It'll loosen up as the meat browns. Don't try and tear it off the pan because you think, you know, oh, my pan was too hot. Just leave it alone. So we're going to let this cook for a good 2.5 minutes, maybe 3, we'll see. What we're going to do is start peeking at it, you know, lift it a little bit with our tongs, and once it's nice and brown, we'll flip it. But please don't be standing there flipping, looking, let it be. One thing I want to tell you is I will sear this meat separately. I do not want to crowd my pan because once that meat starts touching each other, then it's going to start steaming. And again, we do not want this to steam. So I'll be right back. So let's check this. I'm going to lift it, and it's nice and brown, beautiful actually, and I'm going to flip it and let it cook the same on that side. One thing I did forget to do was season the other side. So, you know, season it before you flip it, guys. Alright, this is beautiful. We're going to finish this in the oven. So I'm going to go ahead and sear the other piece and then I'll come back to you, okay? Okay, so this piece shrank. It's beautifully browned on both sides, the same with this. Now guys, notice they're not touching each other. I am going to put this in the oven. The oven is heating at 375 degrees and I'm going to let these be in the oven for about 5 minutes. That's for medium rare. If you want this to cook a little more, then, you know, leave it there for a little longer. I'll see you when I take it out of the oven. This was in the oven for about 7 minutes. What I'm going to do now, it's still really hot as you can see. I'm just going to cover this with some tin foil loosely. I'm going to tent it and let it sit there for about 5-7 minutes and then we'll cut it. Let's cut this open. The reason, guys, we leave it in the pan for a little longer with the foil is because it'll continue cooking for a little bit. So here we go. Oh, perfection. The other piece was a little thinner and it cooked a little more. I'll show it to you. That's fine. My oldest daughter hates meat that, you know, has still some color and juice in it. This is how I like eating mine. Oh, this is perfect, guys. Look at that. Yum. It's super juicy. It's perfect. Perfect, perfect. This is how the thinner piece cooked. It's well cooked. This is a beautiful medium rare. Okay. I'm gonna serve this with some chimichurri sauce. There's a small video on how to make that. It's an excellent sauce to eat this with. You can eat this with whatever you want, of course. This recipe will be on the website, waiting for you guys to come and print it. My friends, check out all the other beef recipes we have on there. We have a lot. Eat well, my friends, without going broke. I'm going to see you guys soon.